Hello everyone, happy Saturday night. Tonight we are going to make a cheesecake because tomorrow we're going to celebrate a very special person's birthday. His name is Henry and he is 8 years old. One of his favorite desserts is cheesecake. So here at the Kozy Homestead, we're going to hook him up with a nice big fat classic New York style cheesecake. The recipe is actually pretty easy. All we're going to do is take 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs, 4 tablespoons of butter, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. And we're going to mix that all together. Be right back. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to mash all the graham, sugar, and butter together. Now you don't want to use too much butter, because if you use too much butter, then your bottom crust is going to be too weight and it's not going to get crunchy at all. So this takes a couple minutes. So once I get this done, I'll be right back with you. Once you have all the butter and sugar and graham incorporated together, which only took me a couple minutes, you're going to take it, put it right into your springform pan. Now, what I like to do is I actually like to put parchment paper on the bottom of my springform pan, simply because it just makes it a lot easier to remove the cheesecake without damaging the bottom of your springform pan. So you're going to pour this all in. Take a big spoon, spread it out. Now, unfortunately, with cheesecake, it's not a very forgiving recipe. So while you can go off the recipe some. All right, sorry about that, folks. Wife was making dinner. It was a bit noisy, so I had to stop. But I'm going to continue on now. We just finished dinner. It was delicious. So you're going to want to take and pack this down as best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. But anyway, what I was saying about a cheesecake recipe, or really any baking recipe, you can mess around with it a little bit to make it your own. But just be careful, because unlike regular cooking on the stove, baking is actual chemistry. So just be a little bit careful. Be leery of that. But this is basically my crust for my cheesecake that I learned when I worked in a bakery when I was a teenager. Okay. So I think that's good. So we'll set that off to the side. Now, we're going to go ahead and mix the wet ingredients. Now this is pretty much a recipe that I remember from scratch because of how many of them I've made over the years. So you're going to use 4 packs of cream cheese, 4 8-ounce packs. So you want 32 ounces. Now, I've always used Philadelphia cream cheese. I don't know why, to me it just puts out a better product, especially when the cheesecake is done. All right. Next, we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Give me 1 second, folks. I don't know where my wife put my vanilla. So I'm going to have to pause the video for a second. So, my wife found the vanilla. So in here you're going to put 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And this is our own homemade vanilla extract. We love it. And then you're going to put 1 cup of sugar. And now you're going to get this all mixed together until it's smooth. So we're going to just mix this real quick. It won't take about a minute or so to get it nice and smooth. And that is it. Next, we're going to do the eggs. Now, the thing with the eggs, you want to do them 1 at a time. And we use 5 eggs in our cheesecake. If you try to put more than 1 egg in at a time and mix it, then your cheesecake is going to come out looking like cottage cheese. And you don't want that. You want a nice, smooth, dense texture. So make sure you do your eggs 1 at a time. Be right back. All right, so now we put in the egg 1 at a time. Now most of the time when we bake, we actually beat the eggs ahead of time. But with us using this mixture and this cheesecake, you don't really need to. It'll mix in really well. All right, next egg please, my love. And these are actually our eggs from our chickens. All right. 4, right? Okay, so one more after this. Okay. Now with cheesecake, you want to lightly beat it. All right. So once we get this egg incorporated, we'll go ahead and wipe down the sides with a spatula. This way we can make sure everything got incorporated the right way. But you can see just how smooth this is already. And that's it, just like that. Again, you don't want to overmix it, because if you overmix it, your cheesecake's not going to come out the right way. Okay, so that's what it should actually look like. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to take the cream cheese, the cheesecake filling, and put it into the springform pan. With the help of my wife. Now what I normally do is I normally put this in a big aluminum pan, or a foil pan, and I put water inside the pan so I can steam it. But unfortunately, we forgot we threw the last one away. So I'm gonna try something a little different this time. Once the oven comes up to temperature, I have a 9 by 13 foil pan in the oven on the bottom rack. That's half filled with water. So it should come up to temperature. I'm hoping to use the steam from that, because if you just try and do a dry cheesecake in a springform pan, chances are you're going to get some cracking. That's why I like to use steam. It won't crack that way. But we're going to give it a try this way, see how it goes. So we'll be back with you in a few minutes. All right, so we're going to take the cheesecake, put it into the oven. The oven has been preheated to 325. And it's going to bake for about an hour and 25 minutes. So we'll let you see what it looks like once it is done.
1 hour.
All right, everyone, so here's the finished cheesecake. You can see why I like to do mine in water. I wish I would have had a big aluminum foil pan that I could have put this in. You can already see a little bit of cracking around the sides here. And some browning. When you steam it, it doesn't come out like that at all. So what I'll do is I'll do an update video to this later. And I'll show you what it looks like after you do it with steam. So y'all take care. Have a great night. Have a blessed tomorrow. And we'll talk to you soon.